Leaves, but no fruits. The mystery of the withered fig tree. Based on the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 21, verses 18 to 22, and Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, verses 12 to 25. Jerusalem Passover week. The city thrummed with expectation. Crowds packed the streets. Leaders whispered behind stone walls. Roman soldiers watched from towers. Just one day earlier, Jesus had entered the city, riding a humble donkey. Crowd shouted, "Hosanna!" He was hailed as king. Hope and tension collided in every corner. But on the following morning, the streets were quiet. Only a dusty road stretched from Bethany towards Jerusalem. And on that road, the Messiah became hungry. He saw a tree full of leaves, vibrant, alive, promising. What happened next would become one of the most misunderstood lessons in Scripture. Because this story is not about a tree, it is about leaves, but no fruits. In Israel, fig trees produces early buds, small edible fruits. At the same time the leaves appear. Leaves are a declaration, I have nourishment. A tree with leaves promises fruits. From a distance, this fig tree looked abundant, but up close it was empty. Leaves without fruits, appearance without provision, promise without fulfillment. Jesus spoke, "Let no fruit grow on you ever again." There was no thunder. There was no dramatic gesture. Just a word from the one who made all things. And immediately the tree began to wither. Not gradually, not seasonally. From the roots, life withdrawn. The disciples stared. They had seen storms silenced, bread multiplied, the dead raised. But this was judgment. To understand, we must look deeper. Throughout the Old Testament, Israel is likened to a fig tree, planted by God, blessed, expected to bear fruits. The temple stood magnificent in Jerusalem. Robes, rituals, sacrifices, prayers. But beneath the ceremonies, was there fruits? The day before, Jesus had overturned tables in the temple. Money changers scattered, authority confronted. The fig tree was a living sermon. Leaves without fruit, religion without righteousness, appearance without transformation. The next morning, they passed the tree again. It was completely dry, dead from the roots. And that matters. Fruitlessness begins below the surface. Branches can be trimmed, leaves can be polished, but if the roots are dry, the outcome is inevitable. Jesus did not give a lecture on botany. He spoke about faith. If you have faith and do not doubt, you will say to this mountain, "Be removed and cast into the sea," Standing on the Mount of Olives, looking at the temple complex, his words were bold. Faith can move what empty religion cannot. Faith produces fruits. Performance produces leaves. The fig tree looked impressive from a distance. No one would question it. But when examined, it was barren. The question for us: when God reaches into the branches of your life, what will He find? Leaves or fruits? We can polish appearances, curate images, display spirituality, but God is not impressed by leaves. He looks for fruits. This story is not only a warning, it is an invitation. Because fruits grows naturally when roots are healthy. Love, joy, peace, patience. These are not decorations, they are evidence. The fig tree teaches us authenticity matters more than appearance. Substance matters more than spectacle. Roots matter more than leaves. One morning, a tree stood in the road. It looked alive. It promised life, but it bore no fruits. What about your life? What does God see when He looks at your branches? Leaves or fruits? Here are the lessons from this story. God doesn't care about empty religion. He is looking for a genuine and sincere Christ-like life. Matthew chapter 15 verses 8. Faith has the power to move mountains. A declaration that a mountain should be moved can only become a reality if you truly have faith. Matthew chapter 17 verses 20. Last but not least, true spirituality must produce visible results. The fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, and fruitfulness. Galatians 5 verse 22. If this story has challenged you, kindly subscribe to Delightful Scripture Nugget. Hit the like button and turn on your notification. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.